Good afternoon, October the 28th, 2014. Time to trading day. First we'll take a look at came in this morning with the idea that it's a pre-FOMC announcement. That means the bias is upwards. We had a buy at 60 to 62. We had a sell at 69 to 71 and 74, 77. And came in. We had multiple opportunities to get long, value area low, retest failure. Could have gotten long as late as this for a nice winner. Could have gotten long in this area right in here for another nice winner. Right up here on the top, could have gotten short either there or there for a nice winner. Retest failure right here, long. When we left on our next update, we did a J period split and said the market should trade high. And lo and behold, that's exactly what has happened now. President Obama is giving a speech now on Ebola. And this could be behind this little spurt. Direction was set early this morning, and it was set by the 50-lot player, and you can just see that all day long they started adding to the length, and they've never backed away. The idea behind this is that the economy really is getting worse. The Fed will step up the plate and do QE4 or whatever it takes to do that, and that interest rates are going to remain low. And if the economy is starting to take off right now, we're getting better economic growth, going to get better reports, earnings per share will improve, and the Fed will keep interest rates at this low. So it's win-win being long in the stock market. Goldman also came out and said that the market is set to make new highs. So, so much all comes together, and it helps you be a buyer, whether you agree with the fundamentals or not. And if you're a fundamentalist, it's really, really, really difficult to get long. Okay, F1, higher low, higher high, that makes you a buyer. Big news tomorrow. We're likely to have a pause as the market awaits the FOMC announcement. But people will be buying into weakness. I did a J split for you. At that time, it was just JK. We had just made new highs right here. We've been pointed towards this high volume area from 75 to 77. We said a couple, 3 days ago, 60. The next stop was 75, 78 structurally, and we've made it. So we can anticipate, we can see what's happening. So the trade for tomorrow, for the overnight session, will be sell failure to take out 75, 78. Then the next trade is going to be 80 to 80. On the buy side, we have this breakout at 69. So on a close right here at 75, we're going to be buying 70, 70. And then our 65, 60. So today, as anticipated, and I think tomorrow will be higher too because of the Fed. No matter what the news is. This morning, the news was decidedly mixed. Durable orders, even ex-transportation really missed the mark. They came in well below forecast. Richmond Fed and consumer confidence were much higher, and the consumer confidence number was driven by expectations for increased wages, salaries. When asked if they planned on buying a new car or a major appliance in the next 6 months, on that particular report, the answer was no. Everybody's anticipating wage increases in 2015. Buy stocks, buy everything. The news splits, it's just not uniformly long or short. I mean, and if you took a look at it on balance, most of the news is worse than 4. But some of it does come in better. Here we have a slightly lower high and a slightly lower low right here. On this one, you're a seller to trading. Not much is going on. Looking at the F2 screen. Okay, we have 2.5, 2, 1, and 31 right here. So selling failure to get through 127 even, 127.04. First trade, sell 7s to 11, second trade. On the buy side, I'm going to leave it 29 to 25 because of the 5-year auction. I do expect this to be lower, but with our setups, etc., we got to give it a little bit of room, and 17 to 21. I don't think the E-mini can explode and go to the upside, but you never know. Tomorrow's news is limited really to the FOMC announcement. We have crude inventories and FOMC. And interest rates are expected to be left the same with dovish or conciliatory statements towards the interest rate picture outlook. They're going to keep interest rates for a long time. And if a QE4 is needed, the Fed's going to do what they're going to do. You see this London low right here at 25. Have our low at 26. So 26.5, 27, kind of splitting it right here. Looks like that would be ideal. If you want to get right up against the edge, you'd have a 20.5 buy. I think this will be soft overnight, trade a little bit lower, but it won't. Okay, looking at the 30-year. Similar pattern. It's not the weakest B in the world because we have volume over time right here. But volume is below where volume was 3 days. It's definitely a B. TPO-wise, inside the congestion area, it's lean. So we got mixed information. So we're at 14 right now, maybe a little lower. May have to pay 13 to get in, but we'll make the buy 1 at 5 to 9. And then 29 to 01 for buy 2. On the sell, we closed at 17. We're currently at 13. So selling failure to take out 20 to 24. Then our 27 to 31. And the FOMC comments apply to the bond too. Okay, looking at gold, we had talked about it closing at 29 on the last update, really a couple of updates before that too. The market is drifting lower. The FOMC, if as expected, would hold the market in its current trading range. So maybe a little bit lower, so we'll make 25, 27 buy 1, and 20 plus or minus buy 2. On the sell side, 30, 32. God, look how tight this range is. Only 2 ticks price increments right here. That's amazing on this contract. Poor Eric is probably suffering over there. How can you make a living with only a 5-handle trading range in gold each? Got to tighten up your entry rules for sure. And you got to play for big moves off of news, which I know Eric does. And you got to wait for the market to come to you. Okay, crude, a huge, when we look at the F1 screen, and huge in range, huge in volatility. What happens in this market is it tends to make a new low, like right here. You get the market comes up and out. Then it comes back and it retests this low and it makes a new low here. And now we've kind of come up and out. So on this screen, where might there be a seller? Obviously up here, 83.50. So 82.25 to 50 be the number one sell zone, and then the number two sell zone will be 83.25 to 75 for our second zone. So the market is still pointed lower for fundamental reasons. And crude generally trades fundamentals, but not on any given day. And it doesn't trade our economic fundamentals, our news announcements, very well. So right here is 50 to 75. Very, very, it's pointed up. Let's not do that. Let's make it 75 to 82. With the assumption that we can get through 50. If we can't get through 50, we definitely want to be short. Then 82.25 to 50. On the buy side, we're at 40, so 81 even, 80.75. And you can see we rejected prices below 70 and then 25. This is right up there with the bond and favorite contracts to trade. I mean, it offers so much opportunity, especially for a beginner. Nobody likes to sit through trades. Nobody likes to be hung out. The trades happen quickly right here. And if the market doesn't break out and continue for 2 bars, you get the hell out. You don't have to spend, not like on the note where, oh my goodness, 20 minutes to this trade, are you kidding me? I don't know if I can stand it. You don't have to put up with that in crude. Okay, we like to sell at 50. 50 to 67. Like to sell at 75, even better. 75 to 85, sell too. Pretty universally, the market doesn't think that the ECB is doing enough. It's like they bought 931 million from what I've been able to get ascertain. They haven't been forthcoming with all of their purchases. The speculation is that people will be accumulating sovereign debt in corporates because the European Central Bank won't have enough of callable bonds. Which will give the big players, those in the know, those that pay for access, you pay to play politically in every economy. It's called crony capital. It's called mature companies that have the cash flow to the money that the politicians think they need at that moment in time to stay in office. Hey, that's it for October the 28th. I will see you bright and early in the morning, 6:45 a.m. Central. We might make 68, 69 degrees. So we do have fall-like temperatures today, but no moisture. Y'all have a great evening, and I'll see you bright and early in the morning.